What do you mean they can't understand what I'm saying? Take it off. But I might get coronavirus. Alright guys, and welcome back to, yes that's right, it's your bite-sized piece of the news every week with the Fearless News Bite, with your host as always, myself, Alex Connor. And today, I've got some coronavirus myths for you. Now there's obviously a lot going on at the minute. We don't want to keep banging on about coronavirus, but it is relevant. It is something we need to have a look at, and there are a lot of misconceptions, like a lot of other things that are always floating around. So I'm going to give you one reliable resource apart from the World Health Organization, and a disclaimer: yes, you should do what your government is telling you for the most part. You should listen to those health recommendations, but you should also think for yourself as well and use what we like to call common sense, or as I like to call it, rare sense. Now, there are quite a lot of myths out there at the minute. These ones I have found on examine.com. I have mentioned this in a lot of my recent vlogs, so if you haven't already, make sure you go and check those out on the YouTube channel. Okay, so there are a lot of myths at the minute that are going around, and some of them are, the biggest myths are, and I want you to go and check these out for yourself and have a bit of a read, more in-depth information. Number one, supplements have been proven effective against COVID-19. Not quite. This is just a bit of applause for a lot of supplement companies and people who want to make a dollar out of you, and also get you to buy these supplements which will make you immune to COVID-19, which is, of course, not true. Then, we also have COVID-19 is less dangerous than the seasonal flu. I'm just going to rack them off here. So I want you guys to go and have a read of these in a bit more in depth, because we're keeping this short, sharp, and sweet, as the news bite usually is. Next one, myth: you're contagious only if you have symptoms. Okay. The next myth is COVID-19 is dangerous only for older people. Not true, younger people as well. Another one, a vaccine will be available soon. Well, we don't really know. It could take a little bit longer than we think in respective to that. The virus will disappear when it gets warmer. Oh, we live in Queensland. How much warmer is it going to get going into winter? Myth: it's time to buy months of supplies. Well, I think the preppers have already got that one covered. Myth: staying at home is necessary only if you're sick. Well, myth: if you have COVID-19, you can tell. As we know, not always the case. You may not show those symptoms for up to 7 days plus. Myth: if you have COVID-19, you're as good as dead. Well, no, this is not the case. If you look at the statistics for a lot of people who are overcoming this virus, but once again, the media and the news is only focused on the bad news, and obviously they want to scare you into those things. And myth: pets can spread COVID-19. Well, actually, they found that this is not necessarily just the case, okay? And again, I want you to go and research these in more in depth. Unless your pet is a bat or a pangolin. One dog in China seems to have contracted a low level of infection from COVID-19, infected by the owner, but no other cases have been recorded in China. In the US or elsewhere, the CDC, however, warns that cats and dogs can spread other diseases to people. So anyway, if you have a pet, wash your hands anyway. Simple. So there you are, some of the top myths. Now, if you want to have a little bit more in-depth look at those, make sure you head over to examine.com, one of the most reliable resources. There are many out there, but this is one that I personally like to follow. And I'm not paid to say that. This is purely just a resource that I like myself. So guys, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And to keep you up to date and informed, I will see you all here next week for another bite-sized piece of information to keep you well and truly in the loop. Until then, stay fearless.